obviously you did time in federal prison, right?
Right.
So let's get right into it. What choice did you make that caused you to have to spend that time behind the walls?
It was really just trying to be grown too fast. And it was...
How old were you?
One at 19. I was,
wow.
Yeah, I was 19. So decisions and the charges that I have and the things that I chose to do was like horrible. And, I could have lost my life.
With her situation, it's already done. There's nothing she can go back and change. So you have to learn how to forgive yourself so that you can move on and be productive, because a lot of people are held back by, their choices, and it's not who they are. It's just something that happened. They made a bad choice.
Yes. I mean, bad choices, we all make them.
Yeah.
And but it's important for us to take advantage of today, who we are going forward.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, because this testimony of yours is important, because guess what? A lot of people made bad choices, spent time behind walls, just like you did. But when they come out, they can make a change just like you did.
Yeah.
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.
Yo, welcome to the Highest Point Podcast. This is a podcast for everyone, no matter where you're from, no matter what you've been through. You know you deserve the best and willing to put in the work for progress to reach the highest point. Now, speaking about reaching the highest point, ladies and gentlemen, we have some very special guests in the building. I'm talking about a young lady who spent nearly a decade behind federal prison walls, and she came out, put her boots on the ground, became a co-owner of Figure Felon. I'm talking about another young lady who comes from the loads of public housing and transitioned to becoming a public speaker. If you don't know who I'm talking about the ladies of $1 Million Thrive Network, Miss Denise Smith and Tiah Henderson in the building. What's happening with y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up?
I love
Doing
that.
great. How are you? It's the energy for me.
I am doing good. So
love it.
glad to have y'all on.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Now, on our show, it's very important to us to focus on the journey of our guests. So I want to get some background on you all, because a lot of times people see the end result and have no idea about, the roads that we traveled, the things that we had to overcome to become the people we are today. So can you tell me a little bit about, where you're from and what were your family dynamics growing up? And we can start off with you here first, Denise.
Yes. So I'm from a small city in North Carolina called Hickory. I was born and raised there.
Okay.
Grew up in the projects, public housing, whatever you want to call it, all of the above.
Yeah.
I grew up without my father, so it was just my mom, just trying to make sure me and my siblings were good, we were taken care of.
Absolutely.
And it made me want to, go further for my family and just to see, what I could do to be an asset to the family. So
yeah. Absolutely. Thanks so much for sharing that. Can you also tell us a little bit about, where you're from, Tiah, and what was your family dynamics growing up?
Absolutely. So I'm born and raised Greensboro, North Carolina. My family dynamic is truly, honestly, is amazing. My grandmother did raise me. I am a person who struggles with a parent that has a drug addiction. So that's something that I still currently deal with. But my overall very loving household, I just let's call me the black or the gray sheep, because the family dynamic is always amazing. The support is amazing. My grandmother did the best that she could, and she's my rock still today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for sharing that. Now, a lot of people are currently in situations that we had opportunity to grow out of, right? So, but it's important to kind of get in the depths of the mindsets that we had when we were in those particular situations, because sometimes people may think they may be stuck in that situation or it's no way out because they made some mistakes and, just made some bad choices.
Yes.
And we all have made mistakes. We all have made bad choices. So I kind of want to get into the mindsets that we may have had during those times. We're going to talk about all the great things that you're doing now, but it's important to highlight certain mindsets that we had at one point. So, starting with you, Denise, I want to talk about, we talked about coming from the projects, public housing, and then you transitioned to being a public speaker. Can you talk a little bit about, what were some of the influences that you may have had growing up in those environments, and how did it impact some of your decision making when you was a young girl, teenager, and becoming an adult?
Yeah, so honestly, I struggled with finding somebody that I could really like tap in with as far as just the whole dynamic of being a woman,
Right.
like a feminine woman who can also be powerful.
Right.
So it was like I knew I couldn't follow certain things, you know. With some of the older women, it was like they inspired me because they did the best that they could do, but it still wasn't something that I felt like I could, you know, give to my daughter.
Right.
So I did a lot of self-development, a lot of, you know, just seeking God, making sure that I'm being led by him, and, you know, just completely surrendering. You know, I don't want nothing, whatever it is that I want for myself is, if it doesn't align with you, then I don't want it.
Right.
So that just tapping in with him allowed me to tap in with, you know, everything that I needed.
Right.
That came with that. So it was just divine connections from there. And, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there anything that happened that made you like have that click in your mind, like, okay, I need to change. I need to get tapped in with God to have this. What caused that divine intervention, that crossroad?
Having my first son. Yeah, it was having my first son. It was no longer about me or, you know, what I needed, what I didn't get from my parents. It was, I immediately had this problem solving mentality.
Yes.
I got to figure this out for him, you know?
Yes.
So it was definitely my son. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Shout out King.
Yes. His name is Tamir. He's an athlete in love with basketball, and he's doing great. So.
Awesome.
Yes.
So glad you can share that. So also, Tia, can you give us a little bit of your background as well?
I love that. And honestly, while I was sitting here thinking, like, what type of things that, you know, I was going through or thinking when I was in the midst in the mindset, and I had to keep it 100 and real. It was a lot of what I was seeing on TV.
Yeah.
It was a lot of the music. I was very influenced by the music, because I realized now that I've changed a lot and I'm transitioning a lot, that when I hear it, I'm like, yo, I used to be out there doing that. I was really wilding. And so you don't place the blame, you know, you just, you recognize the behavior. And sometimes that's a very difficult thing to do. It's that self-reflection, that mirror is very hard.
Right.
And so that's why, you know, people, when they get to that point, it brings on about a mental health and a depression about yourself, because it's almost like you're shedding layers and you're losing yourself, or what you know, but you know that, you know, God is shining through within, because people will even start to tell you.
Yes.
And even when you don't see it yourself, those layers come off. And so with that, you feel like almost like you're losing pieces of yourself, even though you're growing and you're going through it, but it's necessary, I feel like, even as an individual. Right. And so when those divine connections come and those opportunities present themselves, now you're at a higher level mentally, and your mindset is different to be able to handle what God is doing for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You tap into a whole different frequency.
Yes.
Now, obviously, Tia, you're like the co-owner of Figure Felon. So obviously you did time in federal prison, right?
Right.
So let's get right into it. What choice did you make to cause you to have to spend that time behind the walls?
The choice, the decision, it was really just trying to be grown too fast. And it was...
How old were you?
One at 19. I was,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I was 19. So wanting to be on my own, but still wanting to have the lavish things, and still wanting to shop, and still, you know, just too much, wanting to be in the spaces that I was seeing and what was being mirrored back to me. I felt like that's what it was supposed to look like.
Right.
And so the decisions and the charges that I have and the things that I chose to do was like horrible. And, you know, I could have lost my life. People could have lost their lives.
Right.
You know, a peace and blessings to the family. There was an individual that lost his life because of, I feel like, my actions and partake in it. And I will forever hold that in my heart for their family. So
yes, absolutely. Condolences.
You know, that's a part of the growth as well. We have to think about that now. And I wish that's something that we could talk more about, is thinking about the things before you do them and how that has a ripple effect in the world around you.
Yes.
And if you do, with her situation, it's already done. There's nothing she can go back and change. So you have to learn how to forgive yourself so that you can move on and be productive, because a lot of people are held back by, their choices, and it's not who they are. It's just something that happened. They made a bad choice.
Yes. I mean, bad choices, we all make them.
Yeah.
And but it's important for us to take advantage of today, who we are going forward.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, because this testimony of yours is important, because guess what? A lot of people made bad choices, spent time behind walls, just like you did. But when they come out, they can make a change just like you did.
Yes.
You know what I mean? A completely different type of person, a completely different type of mindset, and those influences that you had. And also, it sounds like it was like a movie, sound like an excerpt out of a daggone hip hop.
Very much.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Lord.
Music video. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how it can really impact us.
Yeah.
It's a big impact. So what you listen to now?
You know what? Think and Grow Rich. I promise you, I really don't listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
I do like Summer Walker a little bit, just because I feel like, I don't know, to me, she was almost like a Aaliyah, the soulful, someone you can relate to. We've been hurt as women. But other than that, I try to be mindful with my daughter, who's 6, Skylar.
Okay.
And what we listen to in the car, and it's not always been that way, because I was on Cardi and different things like that. But I had to realize that this frequency, like when I listen to Cardi, I want to fight. I am not a fighter. Like, why do I feel like I really want to walk up to somebody and just slap the dog out of them because
Cardi,
Shout out to Cardi. I still love you, girl.
Listen, gang,
it'll get you hyped up. It's amazing what music can do.
Yes.
But we got to understand, it's like music, you need to put in place of just like, okay, when we watching a movie, it's just like an audio movie. Like, just enjoy it for entertainment. This is not real, because a lot of stuff that people rapping about, they lying.
It's not real.
You know what I'm saying?
Hard.
Or they talking about a life they had 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They're not doing that anymore, people. So you don't want to be doing that anymore.
No.
Or you don't want to start that at all.
Please,
you know what I'm saying? It just goes down.
Tired of it.
Yeah.
It's not cute.
It's not. It's not. You was talking about your daughter. How many kids do you have?
2.
2. Okay, awesome. What were their ages?
Skylar is 6 and Tiara is 20 this year. She was actually the one impacted from my absence. She was 2 when I got locked up. Oh, wow. I was going to ask, how was that? How was it when you come back trying to build a relationship with her? Because how many years did you miss? 9.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, honestly, she's the best kid ever. And she has adored me from day one. And she knows, very aware of what happened. And I just feel like so blessed and lucky, because she didn't resent me. She didn't cut up, act up. And I'm pretty sure she has feelings, and I'm pretty sure to this day she still holds feelings, but she still adores and loves me. She's still very academically strong.
Awesome.
She is a complete opposite of me, and I could not be more proud of her.
Well, that's reaching a little because she's amazing.
Yeah, we know she is.
Yeah,
we know she is.
But my baby,
was she with Pops like when you were gone? Like, where was she?
She was with my grandmother and my aunt, my family. Her dad's military. No shout out to him. Sorry, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, he didn't really do his part.
Yeah.
He felt like he did what he was supposed to. He paid his monthly, and that was it.
Yeah, it takes a village.
Yes,
it does.
So thank goodness for families, stepping in.
Yes.
And also probably it's a good reason that, she still kept you in a good light, because of that family dynamic, still their support. So also with you, Denise, how old are your kids?
So I have 7 beautiful children.
Awesome.
The family.
Yes, it's my tribe, because I really don't have one. So, just growing up, I always knew I wanted a big family.
Oh, awesome.
I needed to recreate, my legacy. So, the boys, they was heavy. They came heavy.
Yeah.
It was the girl that I wanted. Got her eventually. And
How many boys and girls you got?
I have 6 boys and I have 1 girl.
6'1".
Yes.
How, Sway?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
Like, that's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like very well protected.
Yes.
And my daughter, that's my twin. That's my,
Yeah.
we're
That
the
is
same
awesome.
sign and everything. So I'm creating generations of just,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'll just say that.
I think you got a lot of reason to be excited.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got a great role model to look at. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem at all. Now, being a businesswoman, being a mother, I think, Tia, you're married.
Yes.
And are you single currently?
I'm very much single.
So how is it? How do you balance that dynamic of the family, your kids, and being a businesswoman?
Oh man, God.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one at this point. It takes a lot, and
Yeah.
I do a lot,
Right.
and I do it to the best of my ability. I don't
Yes.
shortcut. I don't, I don't. That's not how I move.
Right.
So I'm very proud of myself and
Mhm.
thankful that God has given me the strength and the abilities to move how I move.
Yes, absolutely. Continue that path, like, because I know it's gonna be hard. It's already hard enough to being a single parent,
Yes.
but then also like, okay, I'm a single parent. I'm not only just working a 9 to 5. I'm also trying to grow a business as
Yeah.
well.
Now I don't work a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had to do that in the last 3 to 4 years.
Awesome.
So, I built
Big
my
shout out
own.
to you.
Yes.
Yeah. But still, you had to get to that point. You have done
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? So, what type of mindset? What said to you like, okay, what epiphany did you have? You're like, I'm sick of this 9 to 5.
Yes.
I want to work for myself.
Having a large family.
That'll do it.
It's not a job on this planet
Yeah.
that can take care of us.
Yeah.
So I had to, I found a recession-proof industry.
Mm-hmm.
I tapped in, I did my research, and I gave it 110.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
And now we at 6 figures.
Yeah, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope, yo. I love it.
Now, I do have to say that I do have help with the little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Their dad, he does his part.
Awesome.
And his family, because he has a tribe here.
Good.
So, me and the older ones, I make sure they're good. I'm all they have.
Right.
So I make sure, I do my part with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely, holding it down.
Good,
So
good.
I definitely appreciate it.
Well, shout out to him, though.
Yes.
Again, that village, that tribe is important.
It takes it.
It's
does.
important.
It does.
So, you ladies went through a lot. You've seen a lot. What gave you the confidence to just bet on yourself? Now, we can start with you, Tia.
For me, my back was against the wall. I didn't have any other option. Before I went to prison in 2006, I was actually in manicure school. So I was going to get my nail license. And that's something that me and my neighborhood friends, we had all just decided. One went first and then we kind of all just went behind her.
Right.
It was really dope. But then I went another way. So they carried on and, I went away. But while I was there, I was doing manicures, doing nails, doing pedicures in the mop buckets.
Oh, man.
We got creative and we made it
Dope.
work.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep my skill fresh because I had a plan when I came home and I was not playing, know.
Right.
And now that I kind of look at that today, I slightly have just a little regret with that because I did miss out on a lot with my daughter coming home. I did not focus on the aspect and relationship with her as I should have. I was focused on I got to provide, I got to make sure that I have somewhere I could take her to. So,
Right.
her stepdad, my husband now, Don, he's been everything for us, from him also getting into some trouble. We come from the same background and coming home, and that was history for us. And so we just decided that we were going to build a family, and no matter how tough it got and it gets, that we try to stay into that dynamic for, providing, making sure the kids are set up, making sure they're good. And, it's because of him that we're able to live the type of lifestyle that we live, which is, to me, like the ultimate set of freedom.
Right.
He does heating and air.
Mm-hmm.
He owns his own business as well.
Dope. What's the name of the business?
Enhauser HVAC Solutions.
Hey, check in.
Yes.
I'm going to post his information in the description below, too.
Thank you for that. So, we've been blessed with that. A lot of just referrals, and his business does awesome. It allows me to stay at home. I'm actually a realtor currently.
Awesome.
But I homeschooled last year. I've been able to hold down the house and hold down the family aspect while he builds.
Right.
To where, we've kind of figured out this rhythm of how we're going to build the wealth and the legacy for our household, because the family dynamic in the house is so important. It's number one.
Yes.
And the kids are out here and they feel alone.
Yeah.
And so, instead of turning to the music and turning to the streets, let us show you a family dynamic. And even if you don't have it in that household with mom and dad or whoever, the support, we the aunties, we the uncles, I'm what you need, I'm pulling up for you.
Right.
And so that's where we're coming from with the community and everything that we do in the network.
Yes.
Yeah. So true. It's amazing how I always come back to that village. Because like you said, it don't have to be the mom and dad, because some kids don't got a mom and dad.
Right.
No.
It can be an aunt, it can be an uncle, it can be a coach. It can be so many different things, because if something don't fill that void, they will turn to the streets, and that'll be their family.
Yep.
And that's going to come with a lot of bad choices.
Yes.
Right.
So shout out to the whole network for that.
Yes.
I love what you guys are doing. So what gave you the confidence to bet on yourself?
Just wanting more for my children. That was the ultimate. I wouldn't care about nothing else if it wasn't for them. Just wanting a better life for them. And, I just want to, when I leave here, when it's my time to go, I want them to know that mommy gave 110% to make sure she left something behind for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my love. We can say that we love our children and we love our spouses and our families. Right. But what you do while you're here, that's what exemplifies your love for someone.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. So true. So true. Now I want to kind of I want to transition to can you tell us a little bit about exactly what is the businesses that you're doing and what's your main focus right now?
Woo. My God. I might need to let Tia go first on that one.
Really?
Yeah. Probably, because I got a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got, that's what I'm looking at the list. I'm like, wait, how are you doing all this at once? It got to be like a top 3 or something.
I'm going to automatically say my top 1 is being a tax professional.
Ah, okay.
It's what takes care of me. It's what allows me to create opportunities for other single moms.
Yes.
So that's definitely at the top of my list.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Totally get it. Totally get it. How about you, Tia? You got a number 1 or a top 3 you working on?
Well,
top 2, something.
Honestly, it's gonna be, real estate realtor. That is my top thing, what I'm doing, because I just feel like integrating that into the gardening and the health and wellness aspect of it. That's kind of where we're at. So that's going to always be, because that's, financial support as well.
Right.
And then beyond that is a network. Everything that we do within the network, the community work, helping people build their business foundation, structure, credit, knowledge, value.
Yes.
Because when I came home, I didn't really have a blueprint.
Right.
I was seeing what was cute, what was trending, what people were doing, but nobody told me for real what to do and how to do it.
Absolutely.
So that's my main focus, and that don't always bring money, because Denise and I, we know that we're not gatekeeping over here. If you need help and you regardless of what you do with it, if God is using us as a vessel, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm about. It's not about $1 for real, because like I said, my husband and I, we're very blessed. So I know that the overflow is going to come. I stay planting seeds. We stay giving gems and knowledge and, just helping the people. We really are people who are for the people. So for me, real estate, I have to speak on, because I want to eventually build that to show people how to grow their own food and deal with some of this food insecurity and some of these elevated prices that we're seeing and we're dealing with. We don't have to really be in that space.
Right.
We
so
don't.
True. So true.
So living that and walking in it myself first, I've made a lot of transitions within our household that have cut back on a lot of bills and a lot of expenses.
Yeah.
And then also utilizing my garden is just next level.
Yeah, that's
it's
dope.
Next level.
Speaking of the garden.
The garden.
Yes.
Speaking of the garden.
I'm saying, shout out to my haters.
Shout out to the
You know what I'm saying?
garden
Shout out to the
realtor.
haters.
Shout out to my haters. I got my flowers today.
Yes, we gave this man his flowers on today.
I ain't gonna call y'all haters, man. Just enjoy this with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get flowers out. I don't know the last time I got some flowers. I got some today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It came from the $1 Million Thrive Network. Miss Tia's garden. I appreciate it.
Straight from the garden.
From the
So
garden.
I'm gonna keep that up for a little while, y'all. Just let y'all just have a look at that. But also, Denise, I understand that you had like a big audition thing in Miami here recently.
Let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you give us some details on how that came about and what was the outcome?
Honestly, it came about because I really been just in meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I really been like in prayer and just asking God to send me whatever's for me and get rid of the things that are not. So I woke up one morning and it was just there in my email. And it was like I had to make a real-time decision on that day whether I was gonna pursue this or not.
Oh wow.
So, you know, I tapped in.
Yeah.
And it's been, man, I have no words for what it's done for my career. And just there are no words for it.
Yeah. I mean, you bet on yourself again. You know,
I drove 12 hours to Miami.
12 hours on a whim of a decision you had to make within like what, 24, 48 hours?
Yes.
You decided I'm going.
Yep.
And sometimes we just got to take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
Because there's no telling what type of fruits could be at the end of that. So, sound like you maybe made some good connections because a lot of time networking is so important.
Yes.
It ain't about everything you know. It's about some people you know too. People.
It is.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you some game on that.
Yes.
I learned that quickly. You know, traveling in corporate business and also owning my own business as well. So yeah, that's dope. And also, it seemed like it's intentional for both of you to have motivation for others and inspire other people. How important is it for you all to, you know, because with success comes with a lot of things. How important is it to you to remain humble? How do you keep that and to keep your relatability to the people you're helping?
Oh man, that definitely gets hard. Just staying humble because people see you and where you come from, and they feel like, you know, the audacity of her to want to be something more, you know. So it's just like you really want to hold people accountable, but you know that everybody doesn't deserve who you are right now, like that complete version of you, that healed and just ready to pour into them. Everybody's not ready for that. So you have to be tapped in with God, with who you are, and just make sure that you're pouring into the right people.
Yeah.
So that's important because if you're pouring, you should also be getting something in return. And it's not necessarily monetary, but let me know that you care. Let me know that you appreciate me. And we kind of miss out on a lot of those things, and we end relationships that were sent to be a blessing to us.
Yes, I agree. How about you, Tia?
Yeah, the transparency, being transparent. I've always been, I guess you would say, relatable because people are like, you don't care if people know that about you? No, I don't care. I need you to know that, you know, this can happen. This is possible. And this is also what can happen from it, you know? And I will say, like, you know, we started this narrative, I feel like, of being so strong and doing it on your own. And I don't need nobody that, you know, a lot of us are lost in the dark and stuck, you know, like with Denise and I, you know, even with her Miami decision, like she called me and I could hear it in her voice. And I said, twin, go. Yeah. You need to go. Like we're not talking about whether you win, lose, or whatever. We know that there is going to be something that's going to come out of this.
Yep.
It's going to be for you. And if it's for you, it's for the team. So that means you go, I'm going too.
Yes.
And that's the energy that we are creating and building within the network. Yeah. We're not in the crab in the barrel bucket anymore because we all know that even if it takes one at a time, everybody might not be able to go at the same time, but even if we go one at a time, the one behind you is coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
You're coming up. We pulling up. And that's what we're here to do. And that's sometimes so important when you are on the brink of making that decision. The person that you choose to call can make or break your life. And we really do put that in people's hands a little too much. What if I would have been the negative Nancy to her and say, girl, you don't need to go on. You trying to drive. You got them kids. You have to be careful who you're talking to. And it has to be like-minded in the energy, like pouring in. You pour into me, I pour. That didn't cost me no money to support her. It didn't cost me nothing.
And I felt the support too. I do want to say that, like, I had people calling me like, why would you drive 12 hours? Why would you go by yourself? Take somebody with you. And for me, it was like, I want to go by myself because I'm in control. You know, God is, I don't need nobody with their baggage, you know? So I did it. And Tia, she supported me 110%, like gave me that extra push that I needed. And, you know, there were others as well. And I do want to give a shout out to the people who supported me during that journey, because honestly, I couldn't have done it without them.
Right.
So it just, like I said, like Tia said, being intentional about who you allow around you.
So, you know, I see you guys, you know, working together on so many different things. Can you tell us a little bit how you all connected?
Yeah, so it was definitely divine. I was looking for a co-host for an event that I wanted to do for just, you know, entrepreneurs. Okay. And I already knew Tia had hosted a few events already, so I wanted to definitely have her come be a part of that with me. You know, I posted a stat. I wanted it to be her. I knew I did already. Right. But I didn't know how to approach her because we hadn't really like interacted with each other since, you know, it actually before Natasha had passed away. So I was like, how do I, you know, I don't want to seem aggressive, but I knew I wanted it to be her. So I was praying, like, if this is who it is, then give me a sign. I'm always telling God, give me a sign. And so I posted a status and I said, you know, I'm looking for a co-host for an event that I have coming up. And ironically, she was the only one that interacted with the post.
Oh, wow.
So I hopped in her inbox and it turned into, it went from us planning an event that had nothing to do with $1 Million Thrive Network. That was originally just a tax software.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I was like, well, what are we going to name the event? And she was like, $1 Million Thrive, duh. So it went from there and it turned into just this umbrella of, you know, all these things. But yeah, it was definitely divine. And I feel like Natasha really, like, Tia is Natasha's gift to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was definitely divine. And Tasha was the one who actually introduced me to the tax industry.
Oh, wow.
Which has changed my life completely.
That's awesome.
In a financial way.
Yeah. So what was your relationship with Natasha, Tia?
We were business partners. That was my first business partner. So Natasha was actually still working with Apple, but she did credit. And so we kind of connected through couponing. And me and Tasha, we didn't even like each other at first. She used to take all the stuff out the store, the coupons. I was like, man, we got to get there before Tasha get there because she's going to get everything. So it was just, and we started doing classes together and we just connected from, you know, wanting people to do better and wanting to see better. So she had her business. I had mine. I was doing nails. She was like, you know what, forget it. I'm about to stop working at Apple. I was like, forget it. We're going to get a building together and we just don't go in. And she found the building. My husband backed us on it. And we just went from there. We were brand ambassadors. She was a brand ambassador, the first one I ever had. So everywhere we went, she spoke my business. I spoke hers. Right. And we just built and just piggybacked off of each other for years with that. She introduced me to community work. Right. So for the past 5 years, I've been doing back to school, Halloweens, and all kinds of things for the community, you know, feeding the homeless and giving back in whatever way. Because for her, and she is, I think, co-chair for Margaret Kleiner Foundation, I believe, their foundation. Sorry if I got it wrong, but yeah, she's been doing that. And that's everything that she stands for. So, yeah, you know, it was detrimental to everybody and a lot of people to lose her. Yes. You know, and we're fighting though. Everybody's still fighting. Everybody's still doing a lot of community work. Yeah. Even if it's where you are, where everybody is individually, her name is definitely going to live on forever.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's dope that you all are still doing everything it takes to continue what she was working on, continue keeping her name alive and much respect and rest in peace to Natasha.
Yes, and prayers for Jesse and the family and the kids.
Yes, absolutely.
And in love as always.
Yes, forever Natasha.
Forever Natasha.
And do you want to let him know what he got in his bouquet?
Oh, I can.
I think that's important to know what he has.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
I mean, what's in the bouquet? What's
You got some rosemary in there. You know, you can cook with that. You can make teas with that. You can eat that. A lot of what I grow is edible or medicinal. So the sage is in there, rosemary. There's lemongrass, the zinnias, marigolds. You can use those as a bug repellent. Like,
oh dang!
So I started.
She know her stuff, people.
Yes,
new levels.
We started getting heavy, and then look, Skylar has her
Awesome.
her book. It's called "What's Growing in the Alphabet Garden," and it is just—it's an activity. It's an activity book, and
cool.
What our idea for this, what her idea, because she wanted people to understand what their food looks like and how it grows.
Right.
So the activities go all the way from the seed to the harvest. So you have an apple, you got your apple seed, your apple tree, and then your apples. So, and they can learn their penmanship. So
cool.
it's really cool. And then the different, there's different fruits and stuff from different countries and things to learn about. So that was the point of us trying to.
Yeah. What's the name of the book?
What's Growing in the Alphabet Garden. It's also available now on Amazon.
Awesome. Make sure you guys check in.
Yes.
I'll get the link. I'll put it below as well. Now, now we're going to get to the fun part of the show. It's a segment of the show called Love, Loyalty, or Respect.
Ooh, this is my favorite segment. This is my favorite. I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So I'm going to give you these three options. You let me know which is the most important in the relationship. Love, loyalty, or respect. Okay. The first one. Now, I want both of you guys to answer these questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. And the first one I'll say, love, loyalty, or respect. What's the most important with your business partner?
I'm gonna have to go with the loyalty on that one.
Why?
Because I feel like when you're really locked in with somebody and they're locked in with you, it creates a different dynamic of respect and love because it really takes it to new levels. Like I respect everybody. I try to.
Right.
But with Tia, the level of respect that I have for her is completely different.
Got you.
The love that I have for her is on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Because I know that she's locked in. So
that's why I love and adore this relationship, because I was going to say respect, but then her explanation, like, she just takes me deeper into my mind all the time. Like, it makes so much sense why that should be or could be first. But I instantly just started thinking about our relationship, and it's like the respect that I have for her, as a business partner and as a person is different. And so for me, that's kind of why I was thinking respect first.
Right.
And then because of how I respect you, loyalty, love, everything else comes behind that.
Absolutely.
But
yes.
Yeah.
I love that, twin.
Yes.
Yeah. I hear the loyalty part and I hear the respect part. Both are very, very, very important.
Yes.
So love, loyalty, or respect when it comes to your significant other.
I'm going to let Tia take that one first.
I'm thinking in my brain. I'm thinking.
He's going to watch this.
I know.
Love, loyalty, or respect.
I want to lead with love. I want to lead with love, because when you truly love someone and you are leading in love,
right,
then what should be able to penetrate that?
Ooh.
Your loyalty comes from within that. Your respect comes within that. Whether I'm with you or not, you are carrying yourself in respect and in love for me because of your love for me.
Right.
You love me. Why would you want to hurt me? You love me. Why would you, so, but that love also has to come from a space in the individual that is healed. And sometimes
and pure.
Very true.
We're not healed all the way sometimes first.
Right.
And so in a immature relationship, I would be banking on loyalty first.
Gotcha.
But coming from my standpoint and how long we've been together, and just it would be love. Like, we had a love for each other first.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of weird how Donnie and I did things, but it's working out.
Yeah.
We locked in.
Yeah.
We're going to make this thing rock.
Oh, yeah. Y'all making it rock. And that was a solid answer. Okay, I'm with it.
Yes.
How about you, Miss Denise?
So, just to piggyback off what Tia said, I feel like a lot of people have the wrong perception of what love is, what it looks like. And they feel like it's supposed to be these butterflies and all these emotions, and really it's just a choice. So, I'm gonna have to lean toward respect.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't really know the true meaning of love. So respect for me is, if you respect me, I gave you a reason to do that. So, along with that comes the trust, comes the loyalty, comes the love. I think it just really, it breaks down a barrier that's hard to penetrate when you just have a high level of respect for them.
Absolutely.
And you allow them in your space.
Totally understand. I respect that.
Love it.
Yeah. But love covers everything.
Yeah, for sure.
It does. True love, pure, it covers everything you can ever imagine.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, last one. Love, loyalty, or respect when it comes to your children.
I'm gonna go with love.
Why?
It's important. They need that.
Okay.
And coming from, a childhood where I didn't have a father. My mom was there and she did the best that she could, but she wasn't really a nurturer. So for me, like, just giving that to my children and just nurturing them, I feel like from that, they'll respect me. They'll, it might be times where it get a little rocky when they start, getting to the teenage years, but they'll always remember how I made them feel as just their mom.
Right.
So I'm definitely gonna go with love. But now they get out of hand with the respect. They already know.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one, it would definitely be love.
Got you. How about you, Miss Tia?
I'm gonna lean with respect for the children. And it's just been with my new adventure with Skylar. I'm 38. She's 6.
Okay.
And just, being a new mom, because again, my daughter was 2. I didn't know anything about being a parent. And so my thought process has been with her to give her what I wish I had as a child. Because I remember that. So sometimes she can be a lot. Because she's very articulate. I talked to her. I said, listen, we got to do this thing together. You got to talk. I don't understand none of that baby gibberish. She speaks and has spoke full sentences since 11 months. Like,
gotcha.
So she's a different individual. She's a great kid.
She is.
But I let her know that, I put boundaries in place, but you can speak your piece. You can say what you want to say.
Right.
Yes.
If I'm wrong or I say something, she'll correct me. She said, Mom, you need to apologize. And I don't scold her as her being a child and I'm superior over her because I'm her mother. You know what, Skylar, you're right. I apologize, or I'm sorry for that. Right. Whatever. And then she knows how to articulate that at 6. I feel like she's going to uphold that level of respect and demand from other people as well.
Absolutely.
You can love me and not respect me.
Yep.
That's a fact.
And that's just what it is, kind of. And so for me, I wanted to instill that in her, that she is respected. She can be heard even at 6. Because they be having the most sense out here. We be lost sometimes.
Right.
And that's a valid point. Like, we don't know even with me and Tia, I feel like our generation is going to be the one to break a lot of things in the community. And who's to say that God hasn't put something in our children that, aligns with what we're doing. So we have to allow them to feel their emotions, process their emotions, and communicate with us, as long as they're doing it in a respectful manner.
Right.
You know, they might not agree with us, but if they're doing it in a respectful manner, we need to allow them to be heard, because they really could be pouring into us and we don't even recognize it, because we're so busy being, oh, I'm the parent. I had you. But it's just still humbling yourself and allowing yourself to learn from others.
Yes, so important. So important.
And it's hard, because
So
Skylar
important.
will put me in my place sometimes, and
These
I be
kids
quiet.
will. They might love you, but sometimes they don't be showing respect.
No,
I'm going to tell you that.
Not at
We can
all.
all get a little disrespectful now, because I be fussing, but listen.
Right, it go both ways.
Respectfully, okay?
Yes, it gets heavy. It does.
I know your daughter got a book. Understand that you both are authors as well. Like, because I saw you dropping something. Did you write something as well? Can you give us a little bit about the books that you wrote?
So I am an author. I started in, what was that, 2016 maybe?
Okay.
I wrote my first, it was like an urban novel situation. I wanted to raise HIV/AIDS awareness. It was like a big thing around that time, where I was just seeing people on social media that's like, you know, being infected and stuff. And I'm like, God, we got to figure out a way to bring awareness to this stuff that people are trying to sweep up under the rug. So I had to find a way to, because the people, let's be honest, the people love a little drama.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I wrote the book, it was like, okay, I'm gonna do a storyline, and it's gonna reflect back to, you know, make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're teaching your children to do the same, and just be careful out here, because a lot of times it's not even, nobody has to be a monster to, you know, give you something. Right. What if they didn't know, or they're not taking the necessary precautions? So that was my first book. I actually went on to turn that into a screenplay, which I'm pitching right now as a short film. Dope. And then I have 4 others. Okay. So yeah,
they lined up.
Yeah, I'm a writer. It's what I'm passionate about. What I love to do. I also publish. So I'm a certified screenwriter.
I love it.
So yeah,
I love it. Cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. How about you, Tia?
We do a lot. I know as it's been so many people who've asked me over the years about, when you gonna write the book? Where's the book? Where's the book? So now y'all know the juice is out. I'm connected to my publisher.
Nice.
Because Denise, of course, who else would I have to publish when I do decide? So we've been brainstorming, and I think that we came up with, you know, next year I'll be home 10 years.
Yes.
And for my 10-year anniversary, we're gonna have it ready.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
we're gonna
awesome.
have it ready. I do have a home ownership planner and another planner on Amazon. But as far as the book and what's coming out, we'll keep y'all posted on that.
Yes, and shout out to Smith Publishing.
We gonna get it in.
Right.
Founder of Smith Publishing.
Smith
LLC.
Publishing, people. You better recognize it when you see it.
We're coming heavy.
Facts. Well, I definitely appreciate all the game that you guys have supplied today. So can you tell the people about how they can find you and support what you got going on?
So yeah, they can definitely follow us on Facebook at $1 Million Thrive Network. Once you find them, we gonna be right there waiting for you. So
cool. Yeah. How about you, T? Anything specific for you all, or just go under the $1 Million Thrive Network? $1 Million
Thrive Network is fine. We also have what she has in there, her actual website, where it's all your tax services. If you need any business help that you need, I have a website as well prior to our connection, the sixfigurefelon.com, where you'll find also all of her information, Scholar's book information, our YouTube channel. Everything is underneath there, very accessible for everybody to get to.
Yes,
absolutely. I love it. So, in closing, I want you guys to, anything that you would share to some young ladies that come from backgrounds like you all, maybe spent some time behind the walls and coming out, what type of words would you share with them? What would you say? Either one of you.
Keep going. Go. Yeah. Do it scared. Do it broke. Do it in the dark. Do it in the light. Shine for yourself. Believe in yourself. You don't need validation from nobody, nowhere. God is within. Whatever you believe in is already within. And we're missing that a lot. We look on externally for things when we're trying to make moves. And like you were speaking of, you never know who you may come in contact with that will help further your movement in what you need. It's not all about self. And so with the network, the community that we are creating, you know, shout out to Kenya Brown. She's another realtor on our board that we work with.
Shout out to Kenya.
Yes, shout out to Betsy. She is owner of Kinder Mission Academy that's in High Point. She has a pre-K and daycare. It's awesome curriculum. I also have a garden there and project manager for her school.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So we will be having some big impact coming with the community, as well as our culinary agriculturist, Alex.
Alex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eats and Beats.
Eats and Beats.
Yes,
You know,
please
he's
go
part of
get
the
y'all
family.
some of that food. I'm telling you, you gonna feel better. You gonna
Look better.
Yes,
Yeah.
So definitely tap in.
Yes.
And Alex is actually one of our board of directors at $1 Million
cool.
Thrive Network, and so is Kenya.
Nice.
So they definitely bring a lot to the table when it comes to, you know, what we're trying to do for
Absolutely.
the community. And you know, so yeah.
Yeah. Any word you want to share?
I do want to say, well, I know for me, like I have, get ready to launch our talent agency.
Okay.
And then I'm into the sports a little bit. So I'm my son's manager and, you know, I do all his back end stuff. So we're definitely tapping in with, some talent. Shout out to, I have one who signed, you know, with me right now.
Okay.
Out of Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut. So definitely be on the lookout for him.
What's his name?
It's Young Els.
Okay.
He's a Connecticut artist and he's very talented.
Dope.
Very talented. So yeah, just make sure y'all tap in with him. And I got a few athletes coming too. So
Dope.
yes.
Hey man, it's one Thrive you need to know about. That's $1 Million Thrive Network, young
The
people.
one
so
and only.
You better tune in.
The
You better
network.
tap in. We in the building.
Yes.
The network.
You dig the network straight up like that. I appreciate you all for joining us. So until next time, you all hold it down. Don't let it hold you. Peace.
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.